Hello everyone and welcome to week 2 of the Prismatic Draft League. Last week we scored a 2-1 victory against Ava and his very interesting Sun and Trick Room team. And now this week we're up against the Marvelous Bridge Malamars, coached by Bryce, who's a newcomer to the league. So, welcome to the league. I hope you enjoy your stay. And we got a very interesting team on their end. They have Meowscarada, Zoroark, Mandibuzz, Meganium, Malamar, Bisharp, Metagross, Mightyena, Flareon, Slowbro, and Greedent. Now, a few things interesting off the bat. As you notice, they have 6 Dark types. I believe it didn't originally start off as a thing they were going to do, but as they got further into the picks, they decided to lean more heavily on the Dark types on the team. Some scary ones off the bat. Meowscarada, obviously a very scary lead. You can either hit a very strong Protean boosted U-turn or Flower Trick and knock off. With a flex move, last week they actually ran Aura Sphere as a way to try and take on Lucario, which is a very interesting idea. Zoroark, now this is something that's a bit of a misconception on my part. I thought, this is something that they've done as of late with regional forms, where it'll be the opposite attacking stat of the previous. You have Ursuluna Blood Moon is a perfect example, where it's special, meanwhile regular Ursuluna is physical. So I thought, and I've thought this for years, but Zoroark is a physical attacker, and then with Hisuian Zoroark, it's a special attacker. But they're actually both special attackers. So that puts a little wrench into my plan when I'm like, oh yeah, because that's something I noticed with their team. Almost the entire team is physical. Meowscarada, Malamar. Well, not always technically special, but with Contrary, you really only have superpower to abuse on Malamar, so it typically runs a physical set. Bisharp, Metagross, Mightyena, Flareon, Greedent, all very heavily physical attackers. And then you have the stuff like Mandibuzz, Meganium. Not really either attackers, both their attack stats kind of suck. So they're bulky supportive Pokemon, not really attackers. Metagross being one of the key threats on this team when it comes to dealing out damage output. And then you have Greedent, which last week actually took on the entirety of a set and stayed on the field for the whole game. Now, unfortunately, Bryce lost last week, but I think it was a very cool thing to see from Greedent. So we can't discount Greedent. Never discount Greedent. Slowbro is an interesting Pokemon on their team because while it's a very often Trick Room supporter, their team doesn't really look well suited to Trick Room. Most of their Pokemon are in a middling speed stat, with Mandibuzz and Meganium being pretty much in the middle of a speed stat. 80 is where I'd say is pretty much the average. But then the rest of their team is actually around the 70s range. You got 3 Pokemon at 70, you have Malamar at 73, and you have 2 faster Pokemon in Zoroark and Meowscarada, and then you have Flareon, Slowbro, and Greedent themselves, which are on the slower side. So a team that could do Trick Room, but if I'm honest, I think it's going to suffer more so in Trick Room. I think, as they went with last week with Mandibuzz, he's much more suited to using Tailwind based on Mandibuzz. However, Mandibuzz itself is not that great of an attacker, so once it's on the field, it kind of stays there. So I think the supportive options that Mandibuzz can offer is going to be something to look out for. With all that yapping out of the way, let's look at the type matchups. Yeah, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pokemon weak to fighting, with 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon weak to fire, and only 2 of those Pokemon overlapping. So Tauros looks like a very great bring for this week, alongside Chesnaught, which we'll get into later. I don't have a Psychic type, but it'd be beyond pointless. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 immunities, because they have 6 Dark types, but then they also have a Quad Resist and a Resist, so Psychic moves are out of the question. I don't have a Psychic type, but that's just interesting data to have. Grass type moves are a little rough too, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resistances. Now we do have grass type options, and I'll bring it up in a moment. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pokemon weak to Bug. 2 of them having a quad weakness to Bug. Now, we're not going to exploit that this match, but it is something to keep in mind. Again, this is what happens when you have a lot of the same types of Pokemon. 6 Dark types. And all 6 of them being weak to... Oh, actually, 5 of them being weak to Bug, with only 1 neutral going Mandibuzz. The other Pokemon weak to Bug is Slowbro. That's something you gotta look out for when you're making a team, right? Because, yes, all of these dark types are of different types. You got Pure Dark, you got Dark Grass, Dark Psychic, Dark Steel, Pure Dark, Dark Flying. But you get to the point where, you have 2 dark types that resist fighting, but then you have Greedent, which is weak to fighting, so your fighting weaknesses is still 5. That's something you gotta pay attention to when you do team comp. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of guilty of this with this week, but we'll get into that in a moment. With our first Pokemon. Oh, there, got the stuff back. Right off the bat, you can see we got 3 grass types this week, despite them having 5 resistances to grass. We'll go over that in a minute. But first off, we have Tauros, of course, with Intimidate, Expert Belt, Raging Bull, Close Combat, Will-O-Wisp, Protect. If a very spread out EV spread. 146 speed allows us to actually outspeed all of our max speed 70 speed Pokemon, which is very important for us. The only thing we don't outspeed is Malamar, because that's 73, but I didn't want to really remove the bulk at that point. Now, Tauros is a very worrying pick to bring because they have Bisharp, which has Defiant. And you might be wondering why we went Raging Bull instead of Flare Blitz this week alongside the Expert Belt. It's because last week their Meganium was a screen setter, and that's really what Meganium is probably the best at doing. So if Meganium shows up, it's most likely going to be running screens, and I need to wait to break through those screens. And Raging Bull's effect allows it to break through screens. Terra Grass just for defensive Terra. Next up, we have Electrode. And we're going to be running Electrode a little more offensive this week. I mean, a little more offensive, I say. We always run it at max special attack because there's no reason not to. Focus Sash, Static, Thunderbolt, Terra Blast, Thunder Wave, Reflect. We have Reflect because, as I mentioned, their team is very physical attacker heavy. And I don't really feel the need to keep Electrode on the field after 2 turns, right? Because we have the Focus Sash, so we're always guaranteed to live 1 if they don't double it. So hopefully with the Terra Blast Fairy, we could hit something like the Meowscarada for surprise super effective damage. Thunderbolt, of course, takes on the Mandibuzz. With Thunder Wave to slow down threats if we want to do that. Next up we have Chesnaught. And Chesnaught, I don't know how I didn't know this, but it gets Belly Drum. So we have a Belly Drum Pokemon of our own. Now, we're going with Citrus Berry, Bulletproof, Wood Hammer, Drain Punch, Belly Drum, Spiky Shield, with bulk focus, physical bulk focused EV spread. Now, Bulletproof is a very weird ability because you'd think it stops a lot more than it does. Like I thought it would stop Bullet Punch, but it doesn't because it's not classified as a bullet move. Because it's classified as a punching move, which is a little frustrating with the naming convention. But anyways. Hopefully with this, Chesnaught can just plow through the other side of the field. Which would be fun to see, right? We want to give Chesnaught some love, because I don't plan on using it much this season, if I'm honest. Then we have Sinistra. With Sinistra, Terrafire, Rocky Helmet, because the Citrus Berry is on Chesnaught, Matcha Gotcha, Strength Sap, Rage Powder, Protect. With a, once again, bulk-focused EV spread with a Bold Nature. The reason for this set is really... The idea in my head is I lead Chesnaught Electrode. I have Sinistra and maybe Ursaluna in the back. Electrode goes down. Sinistra can swap in and give a Hospitality boost to Chesnaught after it went for a Belly Drum, and it's back up to 83% health. That's even before the Drain Punches, right? Because Chesnaught is going to be able to keep itself healthy with Drain Punch. Rage Powder, to if we want to lead Chesnaught, we can make it even harder for them to hit it, right? With Rage Powder. And I think the only grass types, they only have 2 grass types, Meganium and Meowscarada. So those are the only Pokemon immune to powder moves. Next up, we have Ursaluna. Now, Ursaluna, this time we're going for a Terra Water, defensive Terra once again. Now, with this Terra, we're still weak to Meowscarada, which might be an issue. Being weak to Meowscarada is actually kind of rough, ain't it? How much does Vacuum Wave Meowscarada? Hold on. Oh, oh. Okay. Level 50. Ursaluna. Blood. Tailwind Sweeper. Lion's Eye, Tim. You actually want that to be modest. Vacuum Wave. Into Meowscarada. Health level is going to be Focus Sash, right? Let's see with Reggie usage. 71% with the Terra. 59% minimum if it's got no investment. So honestly, I'm thinking we do Terra Normal, actually, right? Terra Normal. Get rid of the Protect and do Vacuum Wave. Because that actually does a lot more damage than I was expecting. Other than that, standard Earth Luna set. Last off, we have Haxorus making his first debut. I think we could keep Haxorus Terra Dragon, right? Then Outreach is doing that. Mago Berry to give it some HP once it gets low. We have Mold Breaker, so that stuff like the what's it called? The Greedent can't eat 2 berries with Cheek Pouch. You turn off its ability. Is that how that works? I don't know. Mold Breaker is such a weird ability to me. If that's not how it works, that's not how it works, and I get gamed. But in theory, I think it turns off the berry, the double berry property. Then we simply let max attack, max speed. With max speed, we outspeed a good majority of their team. If you go, yeah, 147. We're outspeeding max speed Mandibuzz, we're outspeeding max speed Meganium, and of course, we're outspeeding everything underneath that. But with that, that'll do it for the team builder this week. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you when we get into the matches. Peace. Okay, here we are for the match, and a very interesting thing right off the bat. No Greedent, which is nice. No Meowscarada, and no Mandibuzz. So this looks like this could actually be hard Trick Room, which makes my Electrode Ring a little redundant. We're gonna go with this. Belly Drum. And I think we'll just go for the Terra Normal. Okay. Not exactly what I was expecting. I'm gonna Drain Punch into the Bisharp slot. Terra Water. Oh! Okay, it's got Flame. So that's Zoroark. Getting burned is actually a little annoying. Oh, yeah, duh. Okay, this isn't going too great. Okay. Okay, yeah. That's Zoroark. Okay. How do we deal with Zoroark? Zoroark was a lot more of a uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Zoroark's a lot more of an issue than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, we're gonna do this. Damn, I was not expecting Zoroark to be that much of an issue. That is actually really frustrating. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna Spiky Shield. We need to figure out who's who. Ooh, okay, so those are real. Both of those Pokemon are real. Why would you go for another nasty plot there? Oh, Heal Pulse. Interesting. No, we're actually gonna Thunder Wave it. You know. Does Thunderbolt kill the... No, okay. In comes the Flareon. Trick Room is... It's last turn of Trick Room. I was really expecting the Flareon to... Okay. So it is Toxic Orb. There's the Bisharp. We know that's real. I think we're gonna play it safe one turn to see what they do. Night Slash. Hmm. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Zoroark is most likely coming again. Electro worked really well as a lead. Question is, do I want to lead Chesnaught still? I don't think I do. Purely because they're gonna play into it, I think. I think this time we lead Tauros, right? Because the way I see it, right, is if they do lead Bisharp, then we know. Okay, there's Bisharp. Question is, okay, it isn't real. We're gonna do it. Okay, do we call this right? Oh, we do. But the thing is, I think I still lose. Depends on what their fourth is. Yeah, there's a Slowbro. Ah, that doesn't kill. I need a para. Wait. I'm fairly certain. Oh, no, it's over. Damn. Wow, we lost. Oh, that's slow. Oh, because of para. GG. Oof. I disrespected the Slowbro. I think I needed to take on the Zoroark a lot better than I did. And I kind of I proved my point earlier from the chat on the team builder where I said that having too many Pokemon with the same weakness can really hurt you. Case in point, Flamethrower from the Zoroark really ended up doing a lot of damage to me that I just couldn't stop. But yeah, that did not go the way I was expecting it to. Very fun match, honestly. The Zoroark really did catch me off guard. Like, I knew it was potential of coming. What could I have done differently in that? I really think, you know what I should have done? Instead of tearing the Tauros, I think what I should have done, right, is Terra Fairy and just killed the Zoroark right off the gate. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Terra Fairy would have killed the Zoroark. I shouldn't have wasted my time, like, paralyzing it. That was a very, very dumb move on my end. And because of that, it ends up going slower in Trick Room, which allows them to sneak out the win there. I really think if I didn't paralyze that on the Zoroark turn 1, I could have won. It was completely winnable on my end there. I I had the Terra Fairy for a reason. I have to use it, right? I had the Terra Fairy. And the Reflect ended up being pointless, right? Because they have Metagross with Psychic Fangs. So me setting up the Reflect is completely pointless after that. And yeah, it was just not a good thing on my end. But good match. That was a lot of fun. I thank you all for watching, and we're currently 1-1. I will see you next week. Peace.